Alright, this is Network Gregory and Donel. I'm saying that right?
Yeah, Donel.
Sort of. Okay. Market. Okay. Kom ons chat 'n bietjie bol. Gents. You are looking to disrupt the banking world, something I know nothing about and I absolutely despise a little bit. So tell me, what is it that you do? How are you going to do it?
Well, firstly, we are the ones driving the banking fees must fall campaign, right?
Fantastic. Yeah.
And the truth is, we are targeting the main pain point is actually your recurring banking fees and your high transaction costs with digital solutions on the one hand. And on the merchant side, it's the high point of sale processing fees.
Okay.
Yes, and those are the pain points we address.
Right. So yeah, that monthly reoccurrence of, but it's essentially like those fees are for infrastructure and I'm assuming employees. Like what? How are you offsetting this?
So we're the first actually in the country to introduce blockchain technology within your traditional payment systems. And this has allowed us to unlock pricing efficiency and actually introduce a digital solution that's cheaper than your financial institutions, cheaper than your mobile money providers, and cheaper than your fintechs who are providing your point of sale services.
Okay, perfect. So in practice, what does this look like? How am I going to use this as, how am I shifting from cards and tap to go and all of that to you guys?
Okay, well, firstly, as a consumer, you are obviously storing your money at a bank, and how do you find the banking fees, the recurring banking fees?
Well, firstly, I'm storing very little money in banks because I have it, but the banking fees are just awful. Like I hate seeing those transactions every month coming down for what?
So the problem is you're storing money digitally. Even if you don't make any transactions, they're still charging you. And when you do, the EFT fees are so high, it's completely infeasible.
Okay.
So when you come to Tata Imali, you simply download our app, you onboard, and you can immediately start storing money digitally, no banking fees, instant transaction settlement, and our EFT fee is 0.5%, the cheapest in the South African market.
Fantastic. So there's no going into banks and like Fika, like, I mean, obviously you're going to do this over the phone, but there's no physically going to a location.
No, there's none of that, definitely. You just have to fill up your credit, Tata Imali credit, by sending money to our bank account with your Tata Imali ID, and we load up your credits.
Okay.
Using that, you can pay to any merchant who's with Tata Imali as well. And for the merchant, you don't need to have POS devices. It's exclusively digital. You don't have any exorbitant fees. The average fee in the market is around 2.5%, but we offer 1.3% of your revenues, which is quite a savings for a normal merchant who's already operating.
So basically what happens is you download an app, you do a simple process called Know Your Customer. We are mandated to do KYC processes to make sure there's no money laundering. But you download an app, you do a simple process to onboard, and you can immediately start depositing money into your account, no banking fees, and you can start transacting immediately.
Perfect. So we're working completely virtual. What happens when I need cash?
When you need cash, you can simply cash out. So you can cash out through an ATM, you can cash out through a merchant, and we also have merchant solutions.
Yeah.
So you're really utilizing like this whole, I mean, if we look at what phones are capable of doing, this is way overdue, really. Like we should have been doing this years ago. Like why are we still using these things from banks?
Think about it like this, right? So the lower income consumers, they slightly lag the higher income consumers in, technology adoption.
Sure.
So my question to you is, when last did you pay using cash?
I don't pay using cash anymore.
So going forward, do you think in the next 3 to 5 years, do you feel that the lower income consumers are going to start reaching our level?
If you have the adoption of technology, I can see that being phased out very quickly, which is really happening. We're at like 80 odd % internet penetration in South Africa.
Yes, correct.
Which, I mean, with devices becoming more efficient, more cheap, you're putting this into everyone's hands.
Exactly, and the beauty is We are to
Why
the...
am I selling your product for you? Like,
You're brilliant at it, eh?
but the beauty of it is?
The beauty of it is we have two passions. It's the lower income community in South Africa.
Fantastic, yeah.
And fintech. We're actually the two leading specialists in financial technology in the country. We come from the University of Zurich and the University of Cape Town, and we've dived into the cutting edge solutions of your financial technology, even beyond what the banks are doing right now. And we've taken that knowledge and we're bringing it to the lower income community. And that's our mission.
I absolutely love that. Like I know very little about economics, but something that's fascinated me is the township economy.
Yeah.
And the fact that we don't really have the data on how big it really is. I mean, there's a bunch of what is the estimate of how big that is in South Africa?
I'll tell you exactly how big it is.
Ooh.
There's 28 million consumers. There's 1.8 million merchants. And those two groups, the interactions are collectively valued at around 600 billion rand.
Who's servicing them in the financial services industry? Like the whole banking specifically?
Well, we've got Capitec, we've got Time Bank attempting to service them.
All right.
However, the banking fees are too high. We've got mobile money providers attempting to service them, but their banking fees are too high.
And also when you think about it, the costs of such services are usually high because all the innovations that come in try to integrate with the traditional systems that are there. And most of these banks and institutions have a lot of employees, a lot of overheads. We're quite a small team. We only focus on the most important resources we need. And so our costs are really low, which gives us a leverage to actually offer a very low fee as well.
It's an interesting thing that because I mean we're fully remote for that reason. We can actually drive down the prices of something that's normally quite expensive because of that reason. We don't have all of that overhead. I think for an industry to adopt this, if you're looking at banking, you're going up against giants. So for industries to adopt this and do something in a different way that's been so systemized or so ingrained in society, that's a big jump to make. So how are you looking to address that?
How we're looking to compete is actually, we're looking to poke the big boys where it hurts them the most. Price. We introduce the lowest pricing in the market, and if they attempt to drop their prices to our level, it's simply unsustainable. As Donel mentioned, their overheads are too high.
Yeah.
So we're really looking to compete on price. We're not selling blockchain technology to the market. We're telling people in the market, listen, we've got a solution with no banking fees, transactions settle instantly, and the transaction fees are by far cheaper than anything on the market.
What do you need to get this off the ground? What do you need at this stage? Let's pause there. Where are you right now?
Well, before I hand over to Donel, we have actually spent many years doing research and really refining our value proposition, understanding that technology. And I think we've really come to the point where we've actually got the business right, the business model right, and the technology right. Am I right, Donel?
Yeah, definitely. We've also spent a lot of time understanding our customers, working hand in hand together with them, and actually solving the problems that matter. None of our tech, none of our features are actually taken in without a customer validating it. Okay. We have almost 100 customers who have put input in every iteration that we're putting there, and this includes customers as well as merchants. And so we believe that this is one of the most disruptive innovation that's going to come in.
Fantastic. I mean, and you're not the first necessarily to do this. I'm assuming there's similar products out there, but for this economy, this demographic, this is one of the first. Is it the first?
It's the first.
It's the first.
We're the first to actually introduce a South African Rand stable coin, which is a fully fiat-backed South African Rand stable coin that's managed by Old Mutual Wealth.
Fantastic.
And we're the first, because what's happening in the market is people are holding these stable coins just as a speculative asset.
Yeah.
Whereas we're the first to take them, they're just sitting on these exchanges. Yeah. And actually introduce a payment system around it.
Yeah.
And we're some of the first to actually introduce into the traditional markets.
I think Luno just released a study about that. Like usually it was a speculative asset just sitting there, but we're seeing more and more the integration of actually being able to use cryptos and all of these in normal everyday exchanges. And eventually that'll also roll down into the lower tech communities. What do you need, Donel? How are we getting from 100 to 1 million?
We need, first of all, 50 million rand. because we're competing with big players in the market.
Absolutely.
It's a different game. And therefore we need a lot of resources and marketing strategies to go to part whatever they're doing in the market. We need mentors as well and business specialists. We have the fintech background, but we know we're going to go through a lot of regulations, a lot of law, basically obstacles. So we need people who are also very, very competent in those areas to nurture us up there.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, you would know better than anyone else, but this is one of the most regulated industries in the country. If there's any one of our, what do we call it, state-owned enterprises that's working beyond what, let's not get into SARS, but yeah, we're very regulated and we're very scrutinized, as it should be.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of compliance hurdles for you guys to jump through. So a big investment makes sense. How long do you think it's going to take you? You're already partnering though, like partnerships make it easier.
Yes.
Yeah.
So definitely that's our strategy for now. We're really thinking of who can we partner with best to actually speed up our process of getting into market rather than trying to do this ourselves. We have been able to identify the pain point with regards to what really solves the customer's problem, but we're in a highly regulated space. But we have people out there who have dealt with these regulations. We have lawyers, we have companies that have dealt with the compliance aspect with them. We are looking to leverage such licenses to find synergies between us and them so that we can help the most immediate consumer in the lower income segment.
Perfect. I mean, from a needs perspective, are you currently, if we look at South Africa, there's a massive need, but this isn't the only place that this will translate to. You've got a global market really that you've got, I mean, a pan-African market. Firstly, South America, I'm assuming is up there, India. So yeah, if we're looking at what you're trying to achieve, are we looking South Africa first and then rolling out to a global market? What's the plan?
Exactly. We're looking to dominate our existing market, South Africa, and from there we introduce offerings across Africa. But we also have a very big interest in South America, particularly Argentina and Brazil. And those are the core regions we're looking at. But definitely South Africa is where we're solving for first.
Perfect. That's awesome. I think this is awesome. Like I might sign up. I might be 101.
Yes, sign up. No more banking fees.
You don't have to see
I
all
want to
those
say something about
notifications
banks,
anymore.
but I need to rein it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, gents. Anything you want to add?
Can I just do a countdown? And on one, all of us, we're going to say banking fees must fall. 3, 2, 1. Banking fees must fall.
Thank you so much, gents. Best of luck with your funding endeavors, and yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you so
banking
much.
fees must fall.
And I just want to say this has been one of the best interviews. The setup, the audio, and the energy of the host has been brilliant. So thank you so much.
We're getting some positive feedback. Put that on Google. Can we marry? No.